What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and welcome back to where we go through everything that has happened since the last race. The race has just finished here on Sunday, and the sprint race, and we have everything to go through since the last race. So we're going to start off with Adrian Newey leaving Red Bull. It was rumoured a lot throughout the week, and it is finally confirmed after 19 years with the team. Adrian Newey is going to leave, having won 7 drivers' championships and 6 team championships. He's also been at McLaren with Mika Hakkinen, as you can see. So he's had a long career. Will he retire, or will he move on to possibly Ferrari or McLaren? We also had the news that Nico Hülkenberg will move to stake Kick Sauber for the Audi project for 2025. And surrounding Haas as well, we had the news that they might be, Günther Steiner will sue them over using his image rights without consent. So that will be interesting to see as well. Moving on to some more sadder news, we had the 30-year anniversary of Ayrton Senna's death in San Marino. Of course, one of the greatest drivers to ever race in Formula 1. And there he is in his McLaren. Moving on, though, to the liveries for the Miami Grand Prix, we had the Ferrari, of course, going back to blue. Back to blue. And thought they would go all blue. Obviously not. And realistically, the only reason they did it was because they got a bit of money from it as well, from HP, who their sponsor. You can see literally anywhere on the car, the front wing, the halo, and the rear wing. We also had the V car, Visa Cash App RB, AlphaTauri, whatever. A lot nicer car to look at. Look how beautiful. Vibrant colours, the fading as well. Very nice. And I also like the bubbles that surround this car on the image you can see on screen. Getting into sprint qualifying, though, now, we had Lando Norris, who was fastest in sprint quali 1. He has so amazing pace throughout sprint quali. And out in Gasly, Zhou, Bottas, Sargent, and Albon. Moving into SQ2, he also topped it with amazing pace, with a 1:27.5, a lot quicker than anybody else. And out in Q2 was Russell, Hamilton, Ocon, Magnussen, and Tsunoda. So, of course, an amazing pace. Can he go into Q3? No, because Max Verstappen, of course, sets the fastest lap overall in SQ3 to take pole position for the sprint race. Behind him was Leclerc, Perez, and Ricciardo. Going into the sprint race, though, it was, of course, led every lap Max Verstappen. It looked like he was going to get challenged by the man behind him, who was Charles Leclerc, who was actually gaining a bit on Max Verstappen throughout some of the laps. But then in the end, Max Verstappen did have a over 2.5 second gap, I would say, towards the end of the sprint race. Behind Leclerc, though, was Sergio Perez. He struggled to get past Daniel Ricciardo, who overtook him at the start, but did eventually get past, but couldn't catch up to Leclerc, who had a 6-second gap to Perez. But here is the race start then, and we've got Max Verstappen on pole.
Underway, and Max Verstappen feels the need to jump across Charles Leclerc, who is going bold to turn 1, but can't get ahead, and that squeeze is going to give an opportunity to Perez, who gets shuffled.
Ricciardo actually goes through, as you can see here.
On the outside, it was contact, 3-car pileup, and then it's just pushed Lando into the McLaren. Someone comes up the inside, it's the Mercedes.
Makes them all go into each other, and this results in Lando Norris retiring, as well as Lance Stroll. So, going into qualifying, though, for the full race, it was Max Verstappen who finished Q1 in first place. And out of qualifying in Q1 was Bottas, Sargent, Magnussen, Ricciardo, and Zhou. But Ricciardo would start last place after a penalty. Q2 now, we had Charles Leclerc, who topped it in the blue and red Ferrari with a good lap from him. Lando Norris not getting anywhere near the top this session, and out in Q2 was Stroll, Ocon, Gasly, Albon, and Alonso. Going into Q3, though, and it was Max Verstappen who put it on pole position, and it was a good lap from him. Everyone else not doing very well, and of course, in the final runs, should be really exciting. Everyone got yellow sectors, and that was the end of that. But behind him, he has, for the race, Leclerc, Sainz, Perez, Norris, and Piastri. So it's going to be a good race, some could say. Let's go straight into the race with Verstappen on pole. And oh my god, what a race it was. Verstappen on pole position. He immediately continues in the lead. But it was in the end, Lando Norris, through lucky safety car, whatever you want to say, dominant pace throughout the end of the race. And it was Lando Norris who took advantage and won the race with his McLaren. 7-second gap almost to Verstappen at the end of the race. His first ever win in F1. Get in! In Miami. And a very good race in the end. And of course Verstappen, he did not retire. He actually finished in second place and was actually beaten by the McLaren for what feels like the first time in ever that he's actually been beaten, and finishes in second place. Going on to third place. Kind of forgot that there was a third place because I was focusing on first, but it was Charles Leclerc who finished in third place. And this is how the race panned out. We had the safety car caused by this collision with Magnussen and Logan Sargent. Don't really know whose fault it is. Sargent should have seen him. Magnussen shouldn't have gone really there. But yeah, that took them out of the race. Then we had the safety car restart where Lando Norris almost messes it up with Verstappen in the slipstream going towards turn 1. But luckily Norris continues on in the lead. And then he wins the race. So really not much else to say. He takes his first ever win. You can see the rest of the grid there. Verstappen, Leclerc, Sainz, Perez, Hamilton, and the rest is whatever. Here you can see the celebrations from McLaren as Lando Norris takes his first ever win in his 110th race. Yeah, it's just amazing to see. But the fastest lap was taken by his teammate Oscar Piastri after he pitted after having damage and contact with Carlos Sainz. The worst team, I would say, were Williams after terrible performance. Best team were McLaren. Without Piastri, even with Piastri, they're doing very well. And of course, amazing result for McLaren. But if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time for the Emilia Romagna and the Imola Grand Prix. Goodbye.